Hello, everyone. My name is Esteth Garcia, and this is my personal philosophy on DAP, Development to Appropriate Practices, and Fostering Attachments with Children for our week 3 discussion. What that means to me personally, I believe developmentally appropriate practices are practices that, as educators, we implement to meet the needs of all children across all learning domains. This means all children, regardless of factors such as where they stand developmentally, where they come from, culture, background, socioeconomic status. And these practices encourage development and learning, and it's all about meeting children where they are. So the NAEYC says that good teachers understand typical development from birth through age 3. And this is important, but it's also not all about ages and stages. It's also about the child's abilities, their experiences, and individual characteristics, as all children are different and they're all going to come with their own set of abilities, life experiences, and temperaments, like I said, individual characteristics. And that's why it's also important to get to know children's families as part of implementing DAP, because you get to know them, develop relationships, but also get to know their cultures, their child rearing practices, and it allows you to keep open, respectful, and timely communication and collaboration with families as far as learning plans, goals for the child. But it's also important as part of DAP to implement experiences, tools, materials that are relevant to the child and their culture and where they come from and meaningful as well to them. Um, what DAP also means to me is providing opportunities for children to take charge of their learning, and to also, as an educator, be ready to adapt or change curriculum and strategies. Implementing child-directed play-based experiences as children learn through play, and experiences where children can choose the materials, the topics, their peers, and their interests. If we're implementing as educators materials and topics that interest the children, they're more likely to learn through these experiences. And also implementing a wide variety of materials and equipment and teaching strategies to accommodate the range of children's individual differences, as the NAEYC says, because they're all going to be different. And so individualizing instruction might be necessary to meet the needs of an individual child, even in a small group, or differentiating instruction. So providing instruction that meets the needs of all the children involved, and knowing which learning formats to use, and like I said, adapting the curriculum to teach, and when necessary, guiding and scaffolding children through the curriculum. Ages and stages, my philosophy on small group support, it's, as far as ages and stages, it's definitely important to know that children develop at their own pace, but it's also necessary to educate ourselves and continue to learn about the stages of development and milestones. And this is important because it allows us to recognize the stages a child should be in, or the milestones they should have reached by a certain age, in order, as a CDC tells us, to track development and address possible concerns. So if a child is not meeting a certain milestone by a certain age, it could be like, let's wait it out and give them time to see. But also, once it gets to a certain point, it could be a cause for concern. And it can also be used as an educator, which is an important part of my philosophy, to communicate information to families to keep them up to date and provide them the necessary resources if needed when there's a cause for concern and when a child might need those that extra support and resources. Supporting small groups of children with varied abilities can look like setting up learning environments, experiences, materials, and strategies that will cater to a mixed set of abilities and skills. So learning environments and materials will all could be included different kinds in one activity or learning experience that are going to cater to many skills, to a child who needs a little bit more support or a child who's more advanced. And like I said, individualizing teaching strategies to meet the specific needs of an individual child, but as told to us by the NAEYC, might be necessary. So being ready as an educator, like I said, to change or adapt your strategies and your teaching plans. And also, for example, challenging some children who might be ready to take that extra step and advance their skills or adapt it if it is becoming too difficult or boring or frustrating for a child. And another thing we can do as educators to support small groups of children with varied abilities is implementing experiences and materials based on their developmental abilities and interests. And this information can be gathered through formal, informal observations, assessments, those relationships with families, asking questions. And like I said, another way to offer support is offering guidance. And this can look like scaffolding children, asking those questions, get them thinking and taking them to that next step, next level, and also extending their interest. So if they're interested in something, extending those projects, extending those lessons because they are showing continued interest. As far as fostering secure attachments, this is really important because it not only models to children how to treat others and how to treat their caretakers, but also it benefits them in many, many ways. And some of the things we can do is to foster secure attachments is be responsive with children, sensitive to their cues, nonverbal, verbal cues, and their needs, and also responding to those needs in a timely manner. So, you know, going in there and trying to figure out what is it the children needs and providing for these needs to meet these needs, and also having positive interactions with children, to talking, laughing, and playing with them, and just just interacting positively with them, being physically, emotionally available for them when needed, and being warm, affectionate, and caring towards them. And like I said, modeling how to behave towards others. And this is going to teach them how to behave towards others as well. You're also modeling. And another strategy is providing children safety and trust. And this is done by implementing predictable routines and safe environments, observing, monitoring the children, making sure everything's safe, hygiene, cleaning, cleanliness, just a safe environment for the children to learn in and play in, and keeping students safe, like I said, consistency, being consistent in your strategies, in your routines as an educator, and letting children know ahead of time of any changes. So this is important because it might throw them off, especially children going through, trauma or things that are affecting them in the home or have experienced something that really impacted their emotions or mental health. And so you want to let children know ahead of time. It also plays into providing children a safe, consistent, predictable environment that they can feel secure in. Thank you guys for watching.